Session. Let's continue our conversation with Congressman Walter B. Jones, Jr., Republican of North Carolina. Walter, what do you think the House Republican Conference will do in the lame duck session about this executive amnesty?
Well, J.D., when I finish this interview, I will be going to the Republican Conference, and this would be the topic that we will be discussing with the Speaker of the House. What options do we have? I have been saying down in my district, whenever you reward someone that's committed a crime, then you as that individual, if there's a impeachment, which was authorized by those who developed the Constitution, then that's what you should consider. But nobody wants to even talk about impeachment, J.D., and I don't want that as an option except this reason. Why in the world are we going to spend millions and millions of the taxpayers' dollars going to the federal courts to challenge President Obama on this decision and have it thrown out of court? Here we go again as a nation that can't pay our bills. We're going to go to court and play a little political theater, make everybody feel good, and then the federal courts kick it out. Use what the Constitution says, but no, we won't do that.
Well, the concern, Walter, as you know, is that this is what the president is counting on to galvanize his supporters and to put conservatives and Republicans in Congress in an unfavorable situation politically. So you mentioned political theater with reference to the courts. Obviously, it would work both ways if you, in fact, exercise that constitutional option. That's the concern. But among those in the Republican conference, Walter, how many do you think believe impeachment is a possibility, or at least should be kept held out there as a plausible alternative?
J.D., probably no more than 20, and probably more like 12 or 14. You made a great point, and I want to build on that very quickly. When is it more important for policy of a nation instead of politics of a nation? That's what we always do up here. It's politics, it's politics, it's politics. It's never policy, policy, policy. That's what's wrong with our country.
And Walter, you mentioned spending, the runaway spending, and now a situation where in just a few days, 9 days, if there's not a continuing resolution or some sort of bill passed to pay the bills, then a shutdown looms. What should be the approach to that? A temporary continuing resolution funding the government until early next year? What do you think?
J.D., I think if they would pose a continuing resolution until about February 1, that would be acceptable to most all of us, and we would accept that, but not going to September of 2015. That's when you know better than anybody. That's when you have more havoc being played with the taxpayers' money and the taxpayers' future.
And mindful of that, in less than 2 minutes remain, let's take a listen to Washington's resident psychiatrist, Dr. Charles Krauthammer, talking about a government shutdown. Here he is from the Fox News Channel.
Look, there's reality, and there's the way reality is reported in the media. And we know that you are right. If there were a government shutdown under these circumstances, it would be Obama be the one who's shutting it down with a veto. However, we also know that as the night follows day, it will be reported everywhere as a Republican shutdown, and they will suffer as they suffered last October 2013, and it was a disaster. Republicans are finally ahead of Democrats in the poll about who do you favor, and this would be the worst time to blow it.
What about that, Walter?
J.D., that's what is wrong with this country. When Bill Clinton left office in 2000, we were $5.6 trillion in debt. Today, it's over 17.8. So let's be weak-kneed and continue to give in so we can borrow more money each and every year and say to our grandchildren, you have no future.
We got about
Somebody's got to have the strength to do what's right for this country, not what is politically right, but what is policy right.
15 seconds left. Would you vote for a continuing resolution that if it's short term?
I would consider it very seriously. I want to see what's in the bill, but I'm not going to support any long-term. September 2015, that's just another cave-in by the Congress.
Fair enough. Congressman Walter B. Jones, Jr., the Republican from North Carolina. My dear friend, it is always good to have you here on America's Forum.
Thank you, J.D.
You heard what Walter B. had to say. Now, when we come back, we look overseas again to the Mideast with Waleed Phares. There's more to come here on America's Forum.